Welcome back to the 0 to 6 figure series. For those of you new here, my name is Wajaha. I make a lot of content on YouTube, lots of DeFi stuff, and today we are in episode 6, I believe, of my 0 to 6 figure series. Now, what is this series? This is a public portfolio that I'm showing you guys where I am putting my own money in to kind of see if we can grow a portfolio up to 100k. Of course, it's going to take a long time because I don't have 100k to put in or anywhere near that amount. So I'm just slowly kind of dollar cost averaging into this portfolio, and eventually we will hopefully get there. Along the way, you're going to see some of the different altcoins or projects that I'm interested in, some of the different strategies I'm using, and I'm hopefully going to show you in the most transparent way possible. So that's basically what the plan or the aim of this series is. And so far we have a portfolio value of just over $5,000, so $5,382, and we are overall around 43% up, which is a fair amount. I think given the recent bear market rally, maybe you could argue that I should have captured a bit more, but profit is profit, and you can't be using those biases to kind of affect you mentally. Profit is profit, and as long as we're trending upwards overall, you got to be happy with that. So yeah, we started off around, let's go to all time. We started off with a few $100s, and over time we've kind of built this up, and currently where we are today, we did actually get to $6,000, but we are around $5,300, and we are slowly adding more and more assets to the portfolio. We're not quite there yet in terms of capital allocation and kind of where I want the assets to be. You can see here, if we scroll down, here's the pie chart of all the different assets that we have. We have FXS, which still over 50% of the portfolio, which is not really right in my opinion. I think I'm definitely overexposed, and I think with time, as I develop the portfolio more and kind of dollar cost average, hopefully that will become more in line. The thing is, I'm not particularly keen on kind of selling because I'm still at that stage of buying more and more. So yeah, this is the phase that we're at the moment. We've added 2 new assets, so for those of you following, you'll know where we are up to at the moment. But if you're unaware, we've got FXS Forex, which is the governance token for Handle Finance, some stablecoins, ETH, the 2 new assets, LYRA and BTRFLY, that we'll talk about today, and we've got some Chainlink as well. And yeah, as I mentioned, this portfolio is completely unbalanced. It's not how I want it to be. We shouldn't be having these low market cap altcoins as high percentage allocations in my portfolio, and I wouldn't recommend that to you guys either. Like I said, this is just purely because I'm still in the process of building the portfolio, and it's going to take some time because I need to sit down and really think about kind of when I'm going to purchase more and kind of which assets I'm going to add as well. So we're still at that early phase right now. So this is, like I said, going to be a long series. Expect maybe 30 to 50, maybe even 100 episodes for this series, because there's a lot of stuff that we need to do, and we're not quite there yet. Anyway, why have I added LYRA and BTRFLY? We're going to go into that today. So here's a little heat map that just tells you kind of how things have changed. I'm not interested in the daily changes of these assets. Like I said, this is going to be a long term portfolio. So yes, there will be at times, I will be selling some of these coins and kind of getting rid of them forever. But I think the majority of assets here I'm going to be holding for months to years. So let's go to the holdings. We added some LYRA and we added some redacted or BTRFLY. Let's talk about them. So the first thing is I realize I think that options are an undervalued aspect of DeFi, and I thought with the option space only really being around 150 million and seeing kind of some of the other categories in DeFi really explode, I thought options really are a growing sector, and I think over the next year or so we will see a lot more competitors coming, but a lot more innovation within the option space. And I think eventually we will see some level of kind of Robin Hood style of options, which I think do bring not only a lot of fees but also kind of something new to DeFi. I think we've seen the growth of perps with the likes of GMX and GNS and Coenta and all these other kind of perpetual exchanges, but options haven't really taken off. And the one option platform that I really do like is LYRA. LYRA It's very easy to use. I've made some content, a few videos on Lyra where I've even done a deep dive on Lyra where I kind of explain how the protocol works, its mechanisms and things like that. Now, one thing that I am aware of is that the Lyra token itself doesn't really have any revenue accrual, and that's because Lyra at the moment are focusing more on growing the liquidity, and so incentives are going to liquidity providers rather than token holders. Is that going to change in the future? Potentially. Are we going to see an Lyra token where users will lock their Lyra tokens and then be eligible for certain rewards or revenue from the protocol? Who knows? I think that's something that I will be looking very closely towards because like I said, I'm really interested in that element, and I think just a pure vanilla governance token wouldn't really take my interest. So that's why we've only got a small position in Lyra for the time being. I think over time, if we do see, some revenue or some element of the Lyra token growing, then I think it's something that I will add to over time. In regards to kind of other option protocols, there's many others. There's Premia, there's Hedgic, and there's even IVX coming soon, which hopefully I'll make some content about. I think they're all early stages, even Dopex and Ribbon. They're really early stages still, and I think we still need to see a lot more development coming. I think all the teams are working really hard, and there isn't one protocol that I would say is really, really far ahead of the others, but I think they're all working really hard, and they're all really smart people on all those projects, the main option platforms. So I think this year we will see maybe a few of them emerge as market leaders, and perhaps those are the ones that we should be allocating towards. But I think right now it's still a bit too early to really know for sure which one is going to be the winner. For me, I'm betting on Lyra at the moment, but I'm very open, and who knows, in future episodes I might sell out of this position and go for another one if it makes sense. IVX is one that's coming pretty soon that I've got a close eye on as well, so perhaps I'll have some written content on Twitter, or maybe I'll make a YouTube video about it. We'll wait for it to launch first because it's not quite out yet. So that's pretty much my thesis on Lyra. I think it's a good platform. I mean, let's go to it. Let's go and have a look. So we go head over to Lyra. We'll start trading. I mean, the platform looks fantastic. It's very, very user friendly. Look, they've got a variety of markets. So all we need to do is click trade, and you'll get taken to this page where you can literally buy call options, sell call options, buy put options or sell call options for a variety of different dates in the future. Yes, they're not super long dated, but with time, hopefully with more liquidity, they can do that. But yeah, it's so easy. All you need to do is just click which kind of option you want to buy. You want to buy this call option here, ETH at 1700. With an implied volatility of 62.1%. This is simple mode. You can go in advanced mode and you'll get your traditional option look. But yeah, look, this is very, very easy to use, and I think because of that, I'm a big fan of Lyra. Now, so that's pretty much why I've bought Lyra. Now, the second element was that I thought in the portfolio I need to get some exposure to governance. And that's because I think governance is an underrated aspect of DeFi. I think what you find in crypto is that there's so many governance tokens around, and most of them are completely useless. But there are some governance tokens that do play some important roles, especially with certain flywheel effects. And a lot of them are the big DeFi protocols, such as Curve, Convex, etc. Now, I don't have too many videos about them on the channel. Maybe I did make some like over a year ago, back in the bull run, when I was talking about different strategies that you could use to make passive income. But Curve and Convex, being some of the big players in DeFi, do have quite significant roles with governance. I think Frax plays a key role in that as well. And Butterfly, or Redacted I should say, have a variety of products that enable not only for you to kind of go long on governance, but also kind of cash flow and yield as well. And they have a variety of products that really interested me. I did make a really deep dive into Redacted as well, so it's one of the recent videos on the channel, so go and watch that if you're interested. But because of that, I did actually start to allocate some of the portfolio towards Butterfly, and this is a position that I think will likely grow over time, especially if we do see dips in the Butterfly token price. What am I doing with the Butterfly itself? Well, I've actually locked it up on the Redacted platform, and that's because if you lock up Butterfly, you can lock it into RL Butterfly, which is revenue locked butterfly, and that butterfly token is going to be locked for a significant period of time. I believe it's 16 weeks, but during that time it is eligible for lots of the fees, all of the fees that Redacted make, and I've got a detailed summary of kind of the fees that the Redacted butterfly token earns in the video, so go and watch that. I'll leave a link in the description below. So I've done that, and currently that's yielding around 30 to 40% a year. So that is quite a large amount. I am of course aware of kind of being diluted somewhat as well. So I think it's a good way for not only kind of earning revenue, but also putting your assets to work. And so that's what I've done with my butterfly token. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We've talked about LYRA and we talked about butterfly. Like I said before, we've also talked about kind of my portfolio being very imbalanced at the moment, and how over time I will need to kind of balance it in a bit more logical way, because at the moment I've got a small Arbitrum altcoin. I do like Forex and I do like handle finance, but that being over 10% of my portfolio is far too high, whereas we've got kind of core positions that are like Ethereum that are much lower. So I think over time I will kind of accumulate more Ethereum, but I am waiting for the right time, and I am aware of course that the macro still isn't the best. There's lots of uncertainty. I'm watching kind of how the global markets like the S&P 500, how oil, how the dollar is doing. All of those things are things that are playing on my mind. But of course, that's not going to stop me from dollar cost averaging into some of the core protocols that I'm very keen on. I do have a list of around 40 or 50 projects that I do really like actually, and some of them will come into the portfolio over time, some of them won't, and what you might find is that I might sell out of some of these positions and kind of accumulate those. I am also going to kind of add more stable coins to the portfolio, and that's because I think farming is a very important thing, and yields right now are very good, and so I think farming is a great thing for everyone to participate in to kind of gain some passive income. Of course there are risks with farming, and I've talked about them many times on the channel, and hopefully we should see some more farms of the month content. I normally publish that on my newsletter or on Twitter, so go and follow me there, follow my newsletter as well, and you'll be able to see some more content there. So that's pretty much where we are at the moment, $5,382. Let's see where it goes. I am prepared for this to kind of come down in the coming months if the overall market goes down. If it goes up, happy days. I'm exposed to the market, so I mean, we want it to go up, don't we? So that's pretty much where we are at the moment. I will be adding over the coming months and year to this portfolio significantly, so stay tuned for that. Let me know if you want me to cover anything else in these videos, but that's where we are at the moment. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course I'll be back with more portfolio updates soon.